It's quite a surreal, fun world, but it's actually quite a serious subject. It's not complete fantasy. So, for example, a pot won't move by itself, but if it's being poured by a character to suggest Nick's anger and frustration, it will continue to flow and flow, mirroring how he feels. The technique came from originally wanting a 2D character, painted character, to hoover a real room. I've always painted very large, so I just thought, well, I'm going to start animating large as well. I thought, how can I push this further? And through that, I thought they need to reach into the space and actually interact with things to show that they are large. So that's when the 3D element came into play, really. The most challenging section was the kitchen, because it was the first time that we actually had two characters acting and the 3D arm element and the interaction with the paper mache, the real world, the non-real world, and that was the first time that I properly worked with Chris.
I was the prop maker and predominantly the stop motion animator, so I made all of the props and the various arms that we used, and for the most part animated them throughout the film. The technique that we decided to employ was a technique in which real objects would be pulled into the wall by a 2D character. This involved us having to source the 3D objects. Because most of them were extremely heavy, a lot of them were crockery or kettles, we wouldn't be able to attach them to the wall for long enough for us to take the shot. So they had to be much lighter, they had to be hollow essentially. What we had to do was recreate that prop exactly from paper mache.
Getting backlights into a 2D world is obviously completely impossible. After the doctor leaves and Nick is left standing in the dark, there's a light that's supposed to come through the doorway outside, and what we actually did was we got a very small light and then built a frame of black wrap cinefoil and cut a hole in the cinefoil to the shape of the door, and I just sat there and I just kept chipping away at it until it fit the door exactly. On a live action set, I probably would have had to skip over that, but on animation it's been possible to kind of sit back and go, actually, yeah, I'm going to take the time, I'm going to make this work.
The main obstacle I faced was really convincing people that this would work. To actually convince people that I want to not draw something, not do a stop motion or even a smaller mixed technique, but that I actually wanted life-size sets, massive characters. I was going to paint it all myself, we were going to make all these props. I mean, I think at the time I said very arrogantly that I could probably make 2 in that time, but I definitely wouldn't be able to do that.